lesson for today is authentic assessment tools. So we have discussed before what we mean by authentic assessment. Hopefully at this point, it's very clear to you what we mean by authentic assessment. So this is the non-traditional way of assessment. They need to perform, they need to produce output, you need to vary your assessment. That's what we mean by authentic assessment. In other words, it resembles with reality. It resembles with real life. Kaya may mga pa-immersion na ngayon. Nung senior high school ba kayo, nag-immersion kayo? That's a good thing, diba? At least you were able to experience the workplace early at that stage. Imagine kami that we did not experience that. Everything is paper pen test. Kung PE, ang exams pa rin is not performance, it's paper pen test. Like we need to define the different warm-up exercises. Ayan, I remember that. So if it's memorization, oo nga naman. If it's about memorization and your subject is physical education, that defeats the purpose. Okay, it does not serve the purpose. Kaya nauso itong authentic assessment. So if your lesson is about cooking, then they need to cook. Okay, if your lesson is about sewing, they need to sew. If your lesson is about dancing, they need to dance. Hindi i-memorize nila yung step in dancing and then define this step 1, define step 2. Maybe as a non-tinera kanta, of course not. Okay, so that's the point of authentic assessment. So our session objectives will be the following: to understand the principles in constructing and interpreting observation and performance-based assessment. Next is to enumerate examples of performance assessment tools. Okay, this will be our session outline. So let's start with the definition of these three. The word observation, the word performance sample, and the word actual performance.
When we say observation, sir, ongoing po siya yung
Okay.
sa formative assessment po, ina-observe mo po yung estudyante, yung mga students mo, and it includes also the date and information po. Then naman,
Correct.
sa performance samples naman po, yun naman tangible results na kung saan yung mga results po, katulad po ng sinabi nyo kanina, sir, yung compilation po ng mga essays, quizzes, ganun po. Then yung actual performance naman po, yun naman po yung performance, tas yung demonstration na po nila yung mga natutunan nila po. Yun po, sir.
Okay, that's it. Okay, that's how we differ among the three. And those are the three things or three aspects that we assess every now and then as a teacher. So at least it's a way also to differ your strategy when it comes to assessment. Baka mamaya puro observation na lang pala yung ginagamit mo. At least makikita mo ngayon sa report mo na observation, form of assessment, observation. So it's like nakakaumay. Yeah? Nakakaumay kasi nga it's redundant. You need to vary your technique. Sa lahat naman ng bagay, when we are in front of our learners, kailangan pa bago-bago. Diba? You need to offer something new. Okay, the observation-based assessment tools. We have some guidelines for systematic and objective observation. Okay, observation-based assessment. Remember the following there. Pag-observe ka, tingin-tingin ka lang, okay, ay magaling siya, hindi lang pala ganun, kailangan pala may record, may journal ka pala dapat sa observation mo. There are some instances that you need to record. Let's say for instance, when it comes to behavior, character of the learner, pag may ginawang masama, you need to record that in your log so that when you already have your PTA meeting, okay, the parents-teacher conference, PTC, you could report immediately to the guardian. Paano kung nakalimutan mo? And you could see the progress. At least you could see the performance. Actually, yung mga cards dati, I don't know kung naabutan nyo. Meron silang nakasulat sa likod, yung observation ng teacher. Observe not only one, but all the students. Make it frequent and regular. I think this is necessary naman kahit hindi nasabihan pa yung teacher na frequent and regular. Once you enter the room, automatic you are already observing. Must be recorded in writing. So this is very important. Yung may date na sinasabi ni Mr. Baila kanina, that's true. Kailangan may date. Kung alam mo na hindi ka matandain, okay, if you know that you are not good when it comes to memory, please write them down. Must cover both routine and exceptional occurrences. What I'm talking about, most of all the time we are observing, but not all of this are intended to be recorded. Only those which are exceptional. You know exceptional, yung pag siya na lang na siya yung sumasagot sa araw na yun. Kaya hindi naman siya madalas sumagot. Let's say, for instance, sa araw-araw, tahimik lang. And then, suddenly, in that lesson, in that activity, the student became so active. Write it down. Must have multiple observations gathered and synthesized for reliability. So, pag sinabing magaling, before you assume, you conclude na magaling sa pagsasalita, let's say, for instance, in public speaking, that's your assumption. In your record, it should be written that the learner did it many times. Hindi lang isang beses siyang nagsalita and then you already assumed that he is a good public speaker. There should be repetition. Okay? It should occur immediately and you should record it immediately. Okay? Repeatedly. Okay? Yung paulit-ulit siyang nangyayari. Katulad nung late, isang beses pa lang siya naging late, no? And then you already assume the chance to change. Baka naman yung araw na talaga na yun, puyat dahil may party yung tabi nilang bahay. Pati sa health reasons, kunyari mag-PE kayo, Miss Dabu, and then may sinuhayay ni nga anak, may paint check, record it in your journal. Okay, punta ka ng mo, may pa-PE na ka na naman. At least you have your journal as your reminder. Okay, and you can report it immediately to school. You can report it immediately to the parent. Yung journal na yan, pinipirmahan niya sa ilalim. Okay, kahit na kayo lang. Kung kayang ipapirma sa superior, weekly or monthly for verification to make it a document, papirma niyo. Pati sa parent, ipapirma niyo na na-inform niyo siya na nung araw na ito, ito po, date 3, January 14, 2028, ang moment, the child committed cheating in the class, showing that you inform the parent about the bad behavior of the learner. Okay? At least, pag nagreklamo, naghanapan ng ebidensya sa opisina na ng principal, meron kang ipapakita. January 14, ma'am, I ask you to sign this document, this journal, informing you that your child committed cheating. Ayun po. Okay, and then we had an agreement below, pinirman niya po. Ayan. So at least you have this proof. Okay? Lalo na alam niyo nagkakaroon ng issue pag sa mga batang bumabagsak na. Siguro narinig niyo sa yung no children will be left behind mass promotion, hindi yun totoo. Okay? Teachers in public schools may fail. Okay? May give failing grades to the learners who deserve to have this failing grade. Ito yung mga learner na hindi pumapasok, hindi nagpapasa ng kung ano-ano, plus pinatawag mo na yung magulang, hindi pa rin dumating. Kaya yung agreement form na yan, pinapapirma pag dumating siya, okay, dapat ipapirma. So, it's just to inform the parent. Okay? Para pag dumating na sa dulo, it's a proof just for you to be safe. Kasi pag nagbabagsak ka, if you will give a failing grade in schools, kailangan meron kang patunay na deserve niya bumagsak. Kaya yung sinasabing portfolio na yan, importante yan. Doon tayo sa advancing to the second one, which is performance sample. The keeping of portfolio is important because in here, you are going to keep the actual outputs of the learners. Kasi nasa class record natin, these are just second-hand information. Okay, na pwedeng questionin ng magulang. But if you're going to show them their outputs, you to keep yourself safe. Keep always the portfolio. Wala namang masama kung ipa-file nila yung mga outputs nila kaysa itapon, di ba? So at least they could monitor their progress. That's one advantage. You could monitor their progress. The parents can monitor their progress. And then you are safe because these are raw scores written in their outputs. Okay? Okay. These are examples of observation-based assessment tools. So first we have this individual development checklist. So under that, all you have to do is to fill in, siguro yung 1, not developed. Itong 2, fairly developed. Itong 3, fully developed. Okay, so in detail siya kung ano yung specific behavior na ginawa. So let's say for instance in mathematics, pwede rin yan. Kaso gawa ka. Does the child know how to read equation? Does the child know the formula in solving this problem? Ang gagaling, sir, yung mga tanong na yan, i-review mo yung mga competency. Bawat bata, merong checklist. Lahat ng competency nandyan. Pag na-achieve na niya yung competency na yun, i-check mo. So at the end of the school year, yung mga blanco, alam mo yung mga competency na wala pa siya. Okay, so anong gamit niya, sir? So you could monitor, hello, you're teaching. Alam mo kung ano pa yung kailangan niya at alam mo na yung sobra-sobra sa kanya. Again, they need individualized instructions. They have individual needs. And if you got 30 learners in your classroom, do you need to record? Yes, do not rely on your memory. Okay? So I'll be showing you these examples. Ito, example development checklist based from teacher's observation. O yan. It's about student engagement checklist. Positive body language, eyes on the speaker. So this is about communication, no? Like public speaking. Ito naman ang ino-observe dito. Consistent, inconsistent, non-existent, non-observed. So, kumbaga descriptive siya. Meron kasing mga test, let's say for instance, performance, na hindi matutumbasan ng scores. Instead, they are equated by descriptive measurement. Okay, in statistics, lahat sinusukat. Pero merong mga bagay sa mundo na hindi pwedeng sukatin ng number. Okay, let's say for instance, a level of confidence. That's the use of observation. That's the advantage of observation. You may give qualitative marks. Yeah, qualitative, hindi quantitative. Okay, qualitative marks, not represented by numbers. I repeat, not everything, not all the knowledge skills may be represented by numbers. Some are may be represented by descriptive evaluation or assessment. Okay, example development checklist based from observation. So did the presenter introduce themselves? Ayan, 1 point. Yes or no? Pero yung yes niya, meron patumbas na point. Doon magkakaroon na number. Pero remember, bawat number may katapat na descriptive answer. Yung binanggit natin kanina, consistent, inconsistent. Okay, shown, not shown. Yes, no, hindi pwedeng number lang yan. This one, interview sheet. This is another observation tool which is also called the conference recording form. Interview sheets consist of a list of questions the teacher intends to ask and the space for recording the students' answers. Now, what's your point of view about interview sheets? How should we use it? And what are the things that we should avoid when using interview sheets? With the questions you raise, it might be too personal and too sensitive. Okay? And by the way, it's an interview sheet. Ang problema kasi sa interview sheet, isusulat nila yung sagot nila. Okay, they're going to write their answer and it's already recorded. Na pag nahulog yan, if it's a sensitive issue, nabasa ng kaklase nila, patay. It may traumatize the learner. Yung mga sensitive issues and personal issues kasi, we could raise them, okay, if they are needing immediate attention. Lalo na kung physical abuse ang pinag-usapan, may nakita kang pasa. Okay, ng bata, you may ask the learner in a conference, privately. Okay, but not using interview sheet. But usually interview sheets, these are used to ask questions that calls for some basic information. Like when you enroll, di ba? May mga forms kayo na sinasagutan. Okay, ganun din sa school namin. During the first day, merong parang slam book. Kung naabutan nyo yun, yung bala mo autobiography, your interest, your favorite sport, okay, your favorite TV programs, the language you speak, may mga ganyan kami. Okay, so we know their interests. We have this what we call profiling of their interests and their needs. Okay, that's very important. So, bakit ginagamit yun? Para makasave ng time. Kasi kung interviewin mo sila isa-isa, so you may use interview sheets in order to save time. Okay? That's a form of for file keeping. Pag kasi interview, i-record mo, kaya lang, isa-isa. Hindi lang pwedeng sabay-sabay silang sasagot. Isahang tanong, no? So, this is an example of an interview sheet. Okay? Sa palagay nyo, based on your assessment, to which level could this interview sheet be used? Ms. Ingente.
Sir,
Based on the appearance of our interview sheet, to which level can we use this one? To which grade level can we use this one?
ano sir, mga grade 3 po, ganun.
Okay.
Grade 2.
That's possible. Elementary, no? That's correct. Okay, we may use this sense like that for interview. At tingnan niyo yung mga tanong, hindi sila yung nakaka-pressure na pang Miss Universe. No? I am blank years old. Why are you using this one? This is also a way to develop their communication skills. The performance samples assessment tool. Yung sinandong picture sa inyo, nakita niyo? Okay. So those are
Opo.
examples of parts of an e-portfolio. An e-portfolio or a portfolio, kung nahawakan man yan, okay, a portfolio is an example of performance assessment tool. Kasi, ayan, hanapin kayo din. It's a compilation of pieces of evidence of individual skills, ideas, interests, and accomplishments. It can be simple folder, a scrapbook, or an e-portfolio. So it differs from teacher to teacher. Nagkakalabanan lang dito sa content. Pero syempre, pag e-portfolio yan, dapat merong title page. Pangalawa, table of contents. Okay? The content. So that when somebody opens that, alam nila kung saan page makikita yan at alam nila kung anong laman ng portfolio. These are very important. And then the following are the outputs. Okay? Madalas pinapagawang project yan. What I did, ginawa ko yung notebook nila, yun na mismo yung portfolio nila. Like, after every quiz, after every test, I'm asking them to attach this test papers, quiz papers, these projects na magawa lang naman sa papel, essays, sa kanilang notebook. I-attach nila using scotch tape or glue, whichever they have. Okay, whichever pandikit they have. Okay? Ayun, all they have to do is to submit the notebook. So, pag pinapasa ko na yung notebook, portfolio/notebook na siya. Okay, with table of contents, of course. Okay, yung summary of scores. At pinapapirma sa magulang with parents' signature. So, let's say for instance, I do not know the learner, nangyayari yan, no? Sa dami ng estudyante mo. I'm not familiar with the learner. All I have to do is to ask for his or, can I see your notebook? So this is an example. These are examples on your screen of portfolio. Okay? Actual, portfolio. Hard-bound portfolio. Tangible. Okay, what can be included in a portfolio? Okay, as follows. 1 to 13. Kung e-portfolio siya, nung kasalukuyang ginagawa nila yung project, during the process, yung mga pictures na yun, pwedeng ilagay dyan sa e-portfolio. I repeat, the purpose of portfolio is to show the progress, the entirety of the progress of the child when it comes to classroom performance. Okay? Okay, last, the performance assessment tools. So first example is performance checklist. This consists of behavior that make up a certain type of performance. Example, sa mathematics. Diba sa mathematics, there are some steps in solving a problem, correct? Pag ito ang word problem, may step 1, may step 2, step 3. So ngayon, sa checklist mo, susulat mo lahat ng steps na yan. Pag yung bata, ipinakita lahat ng steps na yon, check, 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 check. That's a checklist already. Okay, i-check mo yung step na ginawa niya. Baka meron naman pala siyang step na in-skip. At least you have your form. Nakita mo kung bakit siya nagkamali. In-skip niya yung step number 4. Okay, she failed to identify the given in the word problem. She knows the solution, kitang step 6, but she failed to identify the given. So on your screen is an example of sample of a performance checklist. So this is problem-solving checklist for word problems. Read the problem carefully, underline the facts I will need to solve the problem, draw a picture to help me solve the problem, write a number sentence for the problem, solve the problem, then show my work, check my answer. Okay, another example of checklist for disruptive behavior. Okay, it could also be in the form of oral questioning or observation and self-report. So alam na ang oral questioning, alam na rin ang observation and self-report. So,